The Carnival Talk series is brought to you by GrenadaMarket.com.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Carnival Talk. We take it back to a virtual edition. Today I connect with the chairman of the Spicemas Corporation, Mr. Arley Gill. Mr. Gill is stopping by to give us a little bit of an update as to how things have been progressing as we get closer to the first major event for Spicemas, the National Carnival Queen Show. So stay tuned, there's an exciting edition coming up. It's Carnival Talk right here on Lexan TV.
Authentic Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at GrenadaMarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world-famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and bois bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the episode number 3. It's Carnival Talk, and what better topic to talk about but Carnival, Spicemas, the return. It's coming. For those of you die-hard Carnival fans, home and abroad, I know you can hardly wait for when the action starts. Now, this interview with this gentleman is long overdue. He is the man, should I say, with the plan. I tried to sound like a rapper this morning, right? But morning to Chairman of Spicemas, Mr. Arley Gill. How are you doing? Welcome to Lexan TV.
Thank you so much for having me. As you said, this is long overdue. Grateful to be here and to be on Lexan TV.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Where do we start? Now, I know you've done countless features, countless interviews, letting people know what to expect for the return. So because this is crunch time and we are mere weeks away from the first major show, which is the Carnival Queen Show, National Carnival Queen Show, let's talk about, in general, how preparations going right now at this point for the entire festival.
Right now, I think we're in a good place. Basically, we successfully roll off the semifinals for the Groovy and Power Soca competition. This weekend is the preliminaries for the Calypso 10, the Calypso competition. So that by next weekend, we're into the semifinals already. And then, of course, Majestic Wednesday with the Queen Show. There are always little kinks in the road, things that you could not foresee that from time to time will pop up. But I think so far we have been able to deal with those issues. And I think we're on track for having a successful Spicemas 2022, the return.
Give us a little bit of insight as to Camberley, firstly, and any other additional elements to Spicemas. And then the shifts on the dates, because I'm involved in a Queen Show. I know the date has shifted, it's earlier, and also the Dimanche Gras.
Right. So with Camberley, it is an opportunity to celebrate our cuisine culture, our food culture, basically. And on Sunday during the day, in particular the afternoon time, what we would normally do, what persons would normally do with regards to cooking in their backyard or cooking on the block, as we say in Grenada, that will come to the fore. And traditionally, growing up, we had pea soup all over the place on a carnival Sunday, so we'll get ready to go to the Marsh Gras, to the Calypso finals. Right. So we are trying to accentuate that, finalizing those Camberley major corners, but of course, encouraging people to do what they would normally do on a carnival Sunday, and at the same time, cooking and preparing for Juve and that kind of a thing. So we're trying to accentuate that through the Camberley Sundays. That aspect of our culture, I believe, we need to highlight, because Grenada have such a varied cuisine, from the pea soup to the oil down to now the brown down and the manish waters and all of that.
And after all, we have been we have been voted as the culinary capital, right? So we need to.
No, we need to do more on that. So we are doing that. We shifted the Calypso finals from this Carnival Sunday night to the Thursday. And that was, I would say, after long consideration, deliberation, discussion, debate, argument, and so on. Because over the last maybe 10 years or so, we would have witnessed the dwindling of the Mardi Gras crowd, so to speak. Not much person in the stadium. Now we have an issue here where, the Soca Monarch is obviously the biggest crowd, and that the stage positioning and so on is done to accommodate the large Soca Monarch crowd. Now, when the couple hundred persons go into the stadium now for the Calypso finals, they're swallowed basically. So that when the Calypsonians sing, you really don't see much persons out there. And we think that what can we do to see how best we can get the crowd back? So we move it to Thursday and we move it to St. Andrews, Grenville. We believe Big Parish have a very good catchment of Calypso lovers and St. Patrick's and Upper St. David's as well. So as we say, it's an experiment. We cannot guarantee that it will work, but let us see how it goes. I say to persons, if you follow carnivals in the region and so on, for instance, this weekend is St. Lucia Carnival, highlights St. Lucia Carnival, but all of the major shows went last weekend. The Soca Monarch, the Calypso finals, the Panorama was a weekend before the carnival. So that what we are attempting to do is nothing really new or outrageous. What we are trying to do is to see how best we can position our festival in such a way that we maximize attendance and participation and so on. Now we move the Carnival Queen Show from the Wednesday night, which is becoming crowded. However, Wednesday night has been becoming crowded. All the private fetes, all the private shows, and you're just getting soaked and sucked and overshadowed by everything else. And why not move the Queen Show? So we moved it to the 27th of July, about 2 weeks before the reign of the Merry Monarch, and also that gives us an opportunity for the Queen to reign during Carnival, so that she can make appearances, crown the different winners going forward, basically. So let us see how it works. But I'm excited, in particular with the Queen Show and so on, to see how it rolls out. I know they have been hard at work and practice and so. And then we have Au revoir. That's the Saturday after Carnival. On the Carnage in particular, we are trying to say bye-bye to all the and to finally put the curtains down. That initiative come on because years ago, when I was Minister of Culture, Carnivals rained out on the Tuesday and so rain, and we had to do a parade on the Saturday after, and it was so successful. And I lobbied to see if we could get it going again. And unfortunately we didn't. But I believe it's an excellent opportunity to parade all of the winners for Carnival. At the same time, it's something new and fresh, and no other carnival in the Caribbean has that. So here again, we're trying to position our carnival as really and truly the last summer festival in the Caribbean. Because after Spicemas, everybody goes back to Notting Hill or Labor Day and that kind of a thing. So it's an additional feature of our carnival, and here again we're asking for the support of the general public to ensure that our festival is successful. I say to persons, Spicemas is ours. It's not the corporation own or the artist own or the persons directly involved in planning the carnival. It belongs to us, and it is our biggest tourism product. We must never lose sight of that. The sort of economic spin-offs that carnival provides for the economy is something that we must never ignore,
Right. That's right. And I love the fact that you are exploring, new ideas, new concepts. You know how folks could be with change,
Of course.
Yes. There's going to be the complaints here. There's going to be the dialogue here, the debates here. But I believe in giving something a chance. So
you have to.
Shot. And you rightfully say, listen, we tried, it doesn't work. Guess what?
We revisit it. We revisit it, It's not built in stone.
You have to do it. You have to make that first start. And I totally agree. Before we move on to the external promotion of our festival, I was having a conversation with someone who felt that a lot of the the true elements of Carnival has now become, a lot of the more fancy, upper fancy, the feathers, the bikinis, that sort of thing. They thought that, our mass is just going down, and I think, again, it's a different time, it's a different era, it's maybe forward thinking. How do you feel about that? Have you faced any sort of, let's say, questions or criticisms based on the allowing of so many of that type of mass as opposed to what we are used to in terms of traditionally building from scratch mass?
Yeah, that era of the Carnival, to me, is part of the evolution of Caribbean carnivals, and is not unique to Grenada. Now, we have our traditional mass in the short, near the Veco, and I see Sailor Mass is making a return and so on. So we have this traditional mass, and we also have the Grenada Mass Bands Association and so on, who do build their costume from scratch and design and so on and so forth. And then you have what I refer to as the Caribbean Carnival Circuit, where mass band leaders or mass band entrepreneurs, because it is a lucrative industry, move from one carnival to Grenada. Grenada happens to be one of the hubs in that circuit, so that you will see that St. Lucia Carnival, St. Vincent Carnival, Trinidad Carnival, Barbados Carnival, Antigua Carnival, Grenada, you will see these designs of costumes and so on is not unique to Grenada. They're all over the region, all over the Caribbean, and it reflects there are persons who question it with regards to the artistry of it, some of the more the conservative or religious persons would comment on the lack of decency and so on. But as I say, I'm not sure if it is Spicemas call to say, listen, you can't come to the streets with that. That have to be above our pay grade, I would say. The government will have to make a decision, because even then you may have constitutional challenges with regards to freedom of expression and so. I mean, one can only plead and call, for persons to respect themselves, of course, and you have to know what you're comfortable in, and know that you parading among in carnival on the street parades. You don't only have adults, you have children and so on, so that one must be mindful of those things. But I don't think you will see a policy decision anytime soon with regards to that is banned or that is not allowed and that sort of a thing, because we have to, at the same time, consider that one, is not unique to us. Two, people are expressing themselves and so on. And three, it's part of the evolution of the carnival, and sometimes these evolutions take a full circle, so that you see this era now of these bikinis and so on and so forth, and sometimes the cycle of the design changes in a few years. If you look at clothes design, basically, sometimes you see bell bottom in fashion now, and in 10 years time you don't see no bell bottom again, but it doesn't mean that bell bottom go out forever. Just making us seem to come back, so
that's right.
Those things, I take with a tip of salt, basically. But I also have an appreciation that, listen, these things are not unique to Grenada, and I've been to all the carnivals across the Caribbean, and you see it for years. In fact, it has arrived in Grenada late. That is why I believe it is still topical here.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Viewers, I'm chatting with the chairman of Spicemas, Mr. Arley Gill. We'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, we continue on the build-up to the return. We'll be right back after this.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath. And relax yourself.
Exciting, dramatic, humorous, and mind-captivating. Lions All Mass is back in 2022. The Lions Club of St. George's and Spicemas Corporation brings you an evening of comedy, fun, laughter, and pick-on at the Grenada Youth Center on Sunday, July 17th from 3 p.m. Tickets are available from any member of the St. George's Lions Club, Spicemas Office, Grenadian Optical, Clear Vision, and Gittins Pharmacy. Grand Dance. Admission adults $25. Children 12 and under. Pay $12. Come relieve your stress through laughter and be prepared to be entertained by local calypso and soca artists. This is an evening you don't want to miss. The Lions and Spicemas Corporation All Mass, Sunday, July 17th. Grenada Youth Center, 3 p.m. See you there.
Welcome back. Well, of course, this is the third episode for Carnival Talk. It's really centered around preparations by the stakeholders, everybody. And I mean, it's only 7 parts, so there's so much I can fit into it. But it's a starter. And just to remind you folks, again, today, Sunday, there's a Lions All Mass happening. It's going to be in action at 3 p.m. this afternoon. So go on out there and be part of it. There's going to be tons of social issues there. You know, Mr. Gill, that has always been one of my dreams, to play All Mass. I have no idea why I've done it. But I keep saying that, and, embarrassingly enough, after all these jab bands and Queen of the Band and all of that, I've been kind of like on an extended hiatus from Carnival, so to speak. But I think I need to get back in, and I think
I played All Mass 1 year. Myself and a gentleman called Chenny Joseph. We rode 2 tires all wrong tongue. Groovy Mona, and we had a lot of fun. No, All Mass is such a creative thing, You wonder how these people come up with these ideas and these portrayals, It's just absolutely crazy, It's a real fun part of our carnival, and Spicemas is partnering with the Lions to get it going, because, it's a challenge for them as well to do it every year. But it's an important aspect of our carnival. And it's something as the older heads, phase out, with regards to the All Mass Masquerade, we really need to usher in some new persons. So I'm delighted to hear that you want to play All Mass. So we really need some new persons, to play All Mass. It's really a fun part of Carnival, and coming on the heels of election, I can't wait to see the portrayal.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you, front and center, it's going to be quite entertaining.
Yes, I want to encourage everyone to go down to check out the All Mass. Yes,
definitely. Check out the All Mass. It's going to be a belly full of laughter, and also thought-provoking, because like you say, there's going to be it's really built on the social issues. The
topical issues around now and so on. So it's really good. It should be interesting.
I'm quite interested to find out a little bit more about the plans that would have been rolled out in terms of promoting Spicemas for 2022.
Like I said, the person sometimes in marketing you so you see this year, but some of the persons receiving the messages going to say, okay, I can't do it this year, let me try next year. So we have embarked on a regional campaign. We've had a presence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they have been a really kind host to us. We're hoping that we can receive them as well for Spicemas. Rooney J, the reigning Road March King, he performed as a guest appearance at the Soca Monarch in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we were able to do many radio and television interviews throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to observe, of course, what they are doing. This weekend, Vaughn would be in St. Lucia, and he will be performing there at the same time promoting Spicemas. Vaughn, of course, is the reigning Groovy Mona. Well, one of the reigning, because it was a tie in 2019. But Vaughn music is playing in those islands quite a heavy rotation. So we thought he would do a wonderful job. He's already in St. Lucia. I would be in Krakowa. We are looking at the Bajan market, and strange enough, years ago I thought that the Barbadian market may not be so good for us because the carnival comes 1 week before us. But little did I know, once I was coming from Krakowa and the plane was full with people with headpieces and pizza costumes heading to Grenada, I was like, what? You know, when I had conversation with them, they say, well, I'm from Trinidad, but I come to play mass for crop over, and I'm going to Grenada now to play mass in Grenada. And then it struck me, really, about 10 years ago, that this thing is serious. There are persons who do carnival hopping. You know, they play the mass from one island to the next. I mean, they take their vacation, maybe July, August, summertime, and they really do this thing in a serious way. You know, so Barbados is a very good, important market for us. Outside of Trinidad, Barbados is probably the best market in the region for our carnival. So we're trying to have a presence going forward, and this must not be a one-year thing in the other carnivals. And so too, we want to ensure that we have a presence in Labor Day where you have millions of viewers. A presence at Notting Hill, you know, a presence at Miami Carnival, a presence at Trinidad Carnival next year, and so that we continue to spread the word that Spicemas is on, you know, and as I said before, it's an important tourism product, and it plays a critical role in our economy. I mean, persons, you know, we sometimes don't appreciate that. So that's the regional and international marketing of having presence all over, and of course with the new media now, the social media platforms, we continue to promote and market Spicemas, and locally all our shows and all our events and so on. So all these television appearances and so on, again, it's in an effort to make ourselves available, make ourselves accessible to spread the word with regards to what are the activities we are doing for Spicemas and how best, you know, can we encourage persons. We have worked hard with the GTA for these regional and international promotions. We continue to do so, and we are grateful for their support. You know, so that is ongoing. And as I said, it ought not to be only in 2022 that we do that, but we must continue to build the momentum. I mean, when we were in St. Vincent, Crop Over was there. The people from Crop Over was there marketing Crop Over, and I learned that they were doing that 5 years now. I mean, they had a bigger presence than us, so that we know that we have to step up our game, you know what I mean? It means though that we have to spend more money, basically, you know, if we really want to be able to compete with Barbados and so, but they know the financial returns that Carnival bring to the economy, and they spare no money in terms of making sure that they have a presence in the islands, because Carnival is truly a Caribbean thing, and Caribbean people do move from one island to the next. We have worked hard with regards to international travel and regional travel, trying to get additional airlines in, additional flights in through the GTA, of course. You would have heard that Inter-Caribbean is the official airlines of Spicemas. We're working with Inter as part of our regional promotions, and affording us flights. So even now, you know, people call from Trinidad, Caribbean Airlines call out to Trinidad is fully booked. You can't get a seat out to Trinidad for Carnival. That's it. You know, that's it.
That's good.
Hopefully we could get Carl to do an additional flight. It's that crazy. In fact, one of the travel agents said to me, Mr. Gill, can I get Carl to give us a jet from Trinidad to Grenada for Spicemas? I'm like, that's Carl. Carl, I'm not sure if Carl want to put a jet for a 15-minute flight, you know, because it's just up and down from. So that is how it's been, you know. It's really tough now. Persons who have not booked and so on yet, I mean, they're scrambling to reach Grenada for Spicemas.
Wow. Isn't there ferry service? No ferry service, no?
Well, from Trinidad is the cargo vessels. From St. Vincent, already they are doing a catamaran. The huge catamaran from St. Vincent, they are coming down with a sort of a excursion for a carnival. Right. And that's what I mean. So not just the airline. If we get 4, 5, 6 catamarans coming from St. Vincent and so on, that's a nice touch, you know, and then they can do some of the boat cruises during the Carnival weekend. So we have the catamarans coming from St. Vincent, but no, unfortunately we don't have a ferry. I haven't heard anything from Trinidad, but I know in the past we've had a vessel, Bobby Steele and so had worked on that, have a vessel coming over from Trinidad. So maybe in 2023 we can have that sort of initiative where we don't only rely on airlines, but we can have some maritime transport coming for Spicemas. Just
to inform folks, just let them know, pay-per-view will be happening this year, yes?
Definitely, we'll have pay-per-view in all our major events. The finals, of course, the semi-finals. This weekend as well, with regards to the the 10th judging, we will also have it on streaming live, and you can pay $10 to look at it. We believe that we can reach the diaspora, so persons, not everybody who can make it can enjoy it in their living rooms and so on. Call your friends over on the weekend and make a line and stream the shows live, and you get piece of Spicemas just like that. So we are using the technology to reach far and wide in terms of all of our events. So I ask persons to stay tuned and to get your link and pay for your link and be part of Spicemas virtually.
Excellent. And tickets, I know tickets are now
tickets on sale. Go to FET. We're having online tickets on sale, and I think today on the physical, the hard tickets now are on the market as well. So listen out for the different sales area, but the physical tickets now is on ground basically, and persons can get the tickets. And don't forget, you have the combo tickets. As I say to persons, you can pay $200 for 3 shows. And I hope by now, well, I think the early birds have already been sold out. And you have to get your tickets.
200, yeah. 200.
Yes, 200 for the combo tickets for 3 shows: the Calypso Final, Soca Mona, and Panorama.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you, I'm glad you mentioned that, briefly touch on Panorama for this year, please?
Yes, so we have in Panama is Carnival Saturday night. First 7 bands in competition, and after that we have an after party. We bring in WCK, the original Booyah Kings from Dominica, will be in attendance, and all of our top local artists, Lava Man, Pre, all these guys will be there in the after party. In fact, making it fantastic Saturday. So Panorama is a one-stop shop. You come, culture lovers, listen to your pan, and then you can fet off to the morning after that. So that's the idea, that's the concept. We believe that it's extremely important that pan get its space, because I say to persons, Carnival cannot be a block, it's a cultural expression of our people, and pan is one of the main pillars of our carnival. And come out fantastic Saturday. Support the young persons, young people playing their pan, and after that we can have a good time, having a good fet. We have quality entertainment at the end of the Panorama.
All right, before you leave, what is your vision for Spicemas beyond? We're off to a great start for the return. What is your vision? Where would you like to see it going? What would you like to see happen in terms of growth and further reach?
My vision for Spicemas is to make it a world-class festival. When you think about the beer festivals in Germany, you think about New Orleans, you think about Trinidad, you think about Brazil, you think about Spicemas in the same vein. And I think we have the potential to do so because our unique features of Carnival here, namely the Juve, the Jab Jab, and our Monday Night Mass and so on, create a sort of a unique space that if we can get right, the entire package, I believe that, and they are uniquely positioned as well, as I said, with the last summer festival in the Caribbean. So if we can create this space, not just the portrayals, the music have to be top notch, the portrayals, our hotel facilities, and one of our undeniable strength of Spicemas is the security. Persons can feel safe coming to Grenada and playing mass and having fun. That is absolutely important because, throughout the Caribbean, there are so many, violent incidences and so on. Grenada still continues to be very peaceful and extremely safe for visitors. And we are grateful for that. And we want to shout out the men and women of the RGPF who continue to do a wonderful job. They have always been an integral part of the SMC, and we are grateful for that. Persons don't realize, Lex, and how important this little thing is, where persons can go on Grenada's beach and feel safe, walk in the night. A lady can walk in the night in Grenada's main road and feel safe and feel good about themselves, that somebody, things that we take for granted is things that persons cherish and they don't have in their own society. So when the Trinidadians come over and you see them let go, they know that what they can do here, they can't do at home. So we do not take that at the SMC. We do not take that lightly at all. Also, too, we are, for instance, I met yesterday with Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and we are strategizing on cleaning up after the dirty. We are strategizing on how to avoid or to minimize the littering during Carnival. So it's a holistic approach. It's not just the approach of just playing mass. No, we end up just playing mass and helter-skelter. We know we love Rejuve and the old oils, but we also want to see how we can minimize these old oils and so on enter in our waterways, our drains, our rivers, our beaches. So all of these things we are doing as well in the background. It's not a fete, it's not a show, but all these different aspects of Carnival, making sure that we have mobile toilets on the Carnival or the parade routes. That's extremely important to us. So that persons, especially lady folks, can feel comfortable using the washrooms and different things like that. Those things matters to us. And we are working seriously to ensure that we can deliver on the spectator experience for Spicemas. So bathrooms, cleaning areas, the vendors, they must have their disposal bins, the running water, make sure and so on that they sell, healthy food and so on for persons so that we have, so all of that lesson is what we trying to lock down, going for the Ministry of Health and so on, and all of them are working to ensure that the vendors are properly certified and that we all of that is part of the product. It's not just the mass and the pan and the jewelry and so on. We're trying at every turn to see how we can cover all these areas to ensure that the experience is a good one.
Excellent. Well said. And thank you so much again for your time. I truly appreciate it. And I can hardly wait to see what unfolds for the entire festival. The future looks bright. And can you imagine, years ago, we were hoping that people would take notice of us and start visiting our shores more, specifically for Spicemas, and fall in love with the oil and the jab. Guess what? It's happening right before.
It's happening.
Yes, it's happening. Like you mentioned, we have to stay on top of it. And if we want to compete, we had to bring
we have to make it the experience. The experience has to be second to none. Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you so
much.
All
the best, and we'll be in touch.
Authentic Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at GrenadaMarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and bois bande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.GrenadaMarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
That's it for this week's episode of Carnival Talk. I really want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for supporting Lexan TV and also getting into the Carnival Talk special. Thank you so much for your support. And if you've missed any episode, remember, it's a click away. Check it out right here on Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel today. Thank you to my guests once more. And also thank you to the good folks at GrenadaMarket.com. Until next time, stay safe. Have a fantastic week ahead. We'll see you next time on Lexan TV, where it's all about life. Bye-bye.